So we have received the unfortunate news that the upcoming life simulation title from Paradox Interactive, Life by You, is unfortunately, take a guess, delayed yet once again for, I think this is the third time now. I can't remember if this is the second or third time because it's happened quite a bit now that I'm starting to lose track, and yes, it's very disappointing. I guess on the bright side, they're taking time to make sure that they can make the game the best that it can be, and that's what I want for this game, or for any upcoming life simulation game, mind you. But with multiple delays, it really does show you that they are just not ready, and I really think they are constantly jumping ahead of themselves and trying to push this thing out as soon as possible. I mean, I'm happy for the delay, but for 3 times in a row is definitely not a good look on the game and not a good look for the company. Also, given the very atrocious launch of City Skylines 2, which is also a Paradox game as well. If we're following in the footsteps of that, it's not going to be very good for Life by You. So I guess, yes, it's good that they're delaying it yet once again, but to constantly be promising new dates and having to push back multiple times, I could understand once or maybe even 2 times, but now 3, it's definitely going to create a lot of mistrust between this developer, this game, and its potential customers. So we have a brand new statement on the Paradox forums. This one is coming from the Deputy CEO of Paradox Interactive. They write today, "Greetings everyone. We have a statement from our Deputy CEO about Life by You. Hello everyone. After much consideration, we regret to announce that we have decided to retract Life by You's early access release date, previously set for June 4th. This was not an easy decision, especially since we understand the anticipation and excitement that many players have for the game. However, we believe that additional development time is needed. While we would have preferred to commit to a new release window, we believe it is more prudent to hold off while we plan ahead rather than committing to a new date that we cannot be certain to meet. We will provide more information as soon as possible. Until then, we want to sincerely thank you for your continued support and patience." From CEO of Paradox Interactive. Very unfortunate. I do think this is a good statement, and also just the decision to not give us another date, because at this point, I mean, if you're like me, you're probably going to take that new date with a grain of salt, given the fact that this is now the second or third time now that this has been delayed. So I can for sure understand the frustration. I do think this will likely really hurt this game because, like I mentioned, it is creating a mistrust, but also on the other hand, it's good that they know it's not in a place for early access and they want to wait. There are definitely other games out on the market that do not think this way and will just push something out despite it being unfinished and buggy. So I can definitely see both angles here, but you know, it is still very disappointing. I've been seeing a lot of polls on social media and on YouTube community asking which upcoming life simulation game simmers are most excited for, and from all the polls that I've seen, even though these polls have only gathered a couple thousand votes, Life by You unfortunately always comes in last place over Paralives and Inzoi, for example. Those are some other titles that are upcoming, so it seems like the hype and excitement for this release in particular was already lower than those, and with things being delayed, this definitely doesn't help the case. I do think now with this announcement, they are finally making the right decision of not giving us a date and not promising us another time for when we can actually sit down and begin playing this game. It's best to just wait things out, let things develop, and then eventually we get to a point where they feel confident without already having a date announced. And then at that point, they can decide if they want to go forward with early access. I do feel like this should have been done the last time it was delayed though, unfortunately. I'm not gonna lie though, things definitely did seem rough from the start. Right when they announced the game and first started showing looks and gameplay and all of that stuff, things were pretty rough from the start, and honestly, it didn't look like they were anywhere near done, and for them to announce a game that early was for sure worrisome. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm not kind of losing a little bit of hope and excitement for this game, but again, I do think it is the best decision. Could you imagine if they went into early access with the state that this game is probably in, which unfortunately isn't the best right now. I'm sure there's just a lot of bugs, a lot of kinks that need to be worked out. The reception would be lukewarm, and then we would have a City Skylines 2 situation where the players just drastically drop off, and then after a couple of months, not many people are really talking about the game. And I just don't think that Paradox can afford another game to have a similar trajectory to what City Skylines 2 recently gave. So a good decision, but it does suck that it has taken now, what, 3 times for this decision of indefinite delay to be issued. Share your thoughts on this below and how you're feeling about Life by You. Are you guys excited? Are you losing excitement? Do you think this was a good decision or a bad decision, especially for this being now the 3rd time it was delayed? You know, they say 3rd time's the charm, so I'm hoping this is it, and I'm hoping that this does it. I wish the team the best. If it wasn't already publicly revealed before, I am working with the Life by You team. There are some wonderful things that I have planned for the future, but of course I can't say much because of NDAs and stuff. But things that I want to tell you and share with you unfortunately do have to be postponed, but like I said earlier, all of this is for the better. The game is just not ready right now, and when things do improve, when it is ready, of course you will hear from me. I love you guys. Thank you so much for clicking and watching. Take care and happy life simming.